Hey there, guys. I'm Sonic Ghost.
I'm Intern Unique.
I'm Saxdude26.
And I'm Matt from Matt's LP Adventures.
And on September 13th, back in 2011, we uploaded our first Let's Play here to the LPerLeague. Now, the LPerLeague is officially 10 years old. We want to thank every single one of you for these past 10 years of support. Guys, can you even believe it's been 10 years? Because I can't.
No, well, my gray hairs on my sideburns say otherwise, but yes.
I might not necessarily have it on the top, but I've definitely got traces of it in my beard, so...
I just still can't believe the passage of time has gone this fast at this point.
Yeah.
It really kind of just feels like yesterday we started this whole channel.
Yeah, but no, we've been together for 10 years now and making content on games we love and commentary and fun shenanigans and what have you for this long. It's really surprising to think that it's been this long.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think of the first couple of times I made channel intros for the channel, and the number of times I used clips from those first couple of playthroughs, and I'm like, wait, those went up in 2011? What?
Yeah. Like, we did a lot in our early years when you think about it. There was a lot of different things we did. 'Cause back in the early days, we were kind of experimenting a lot. And over the years, things have drastically changed until we got to the point where we're at now.
It was a crazy time at the beginning, but we learned and we adapted and we got a lot better at doing this. I mean, it's just
Better? What are you talking about?
I mean, yeah, I guess that's true. Better, you say better.
Have you watched one of our videos?
Yes, and again, and again, and again.
But no, it's been a long. It was an experimental time for all of us, really, on how we're gonna do collab videos and how our commentary style and our humor kind of melded together and to make these videos and whatnot. It's absolutely kind of fun to be looking back at it and saying, this is where I started.
Yeah, you look back at like some of the hardware and software you use and like how you handled certain things, and you look back and think, that actually worked? How did that work?
I mean, granted, most of it's cringe to look at now, but yeah.
Yeah, not wrong.
But, you know, I mean, that's what all of our content and whatnot, and it even went as far as our collab group. We weren't professionals yet. I mean, heck, we're not even professionals now, but you know what I mean.
Professional does not mean perfect. I'd say we're being professional.
Professional goofballs, if you ask me.
Absolutely, of the highest
Exactly.
quality.
It's on the license, don't you know?
Yeah, pretty much. Professional goofballs.
I could go add that to the banner if you want me to.
Please do,
That's a
please
good
do.
It's an accurate description. Let's not kid ourselves here.
But yeah, our first attempt at doing this was Final Fantasy VII on the PS1. I wanted to play through the game, and I figured it would be a good commentary because, you know, Marley, especially you, Marley, that's your favorite game. So
Oh my
Everyone
goodness!
wanted-
I was young 19-year-old me salivating in fanboyism over the first RPG I ever played. My goodness.
I know we never finished it, but it was fun to look back at those old videos
Say.
and stuff.
Yeah.
At the time, you know, we had like 20 people in the freaking video.
My goodness. The League was a bloody army.
Yeah, that's another thing we learned. We learned very early on that maybe not, like, having a group of 20, maybe that was just not the best idea. So let's try to not have an overflow in this call.
And not only that, it was Skype. It was Skype.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah.
Yeah, back in the days when everyone breathed, that kind of compressed everything.
back when people used Skype.
By the way, rest in peace, Skype. When we left that, like 2015, never looked back.
Yep. Pretty much.
I think the last time I actually genuinely used Skype was probably in 2015 for a final... No, was it? It was 15 or 16 for a final year project for about 20 minutes with someone at uni. And then after that, be it for uni, for work, for content creation, or just casually, I think all I did was message a few people that I was on Discord and asking if they were on Discord. And some got back to me and some have sort of drifted off into the ether and done their own thing.
Yeah, that's pretty much. I went back to my Skype one time and it was Barren Wasteland. I didn't like half of my friends list was already deleted because they either uninstalled it, deleted their account, or just unfriended me. And it's just, I just look at it, I'm like, what is happening?
I tell a lie. I did log into Skype at the start of this year because I was trying to sync it up with Microsoft Teams, and it was refusing to sync.
Yeah, because at this point they're officially killing it off.
And someone suggested go through Skype to use it as a backend and see if that works. And I'm like, nah, it's not working.
Yeah, can you believe we first started doing all this stuff on Skype and now they're finally killing it?
Are they really killing it?
Because I'm merging it with Teams. So it's just gonna be that from now on.
And people hate Teams.
Yeah,
people
so that's saying a lot.
Teams so much.
To be fair, people also hate Skype, so I think it's a natural transition.
Oh yeah, like it's a match made in heaven.
Let's be honest here. We did have some good times with Skype. Like, one instance I remember when me and Matt was talking on it is that we had been in a call for 99 plus hours.
Oh yeah, the Skype glitch. The timer on it.
Yeah, that glitched a lot. Do you remember in the early days where we were still figuring out how to even record in a call setting? Like, well, the only good thing we found is this program called MP3 Skype Recorder. Can we just remember the times where that thing barely worked?
Okay, I was going through some of my old computer backups and I still had the zip folder from it, from when you were just like, if people need to record commentary, use this so it picks up everyone. And I'm like, I don't like this, I need to find an alternative. But I never deleted the zip folder, so I still...
Yeah, I mean, we've had so many failed recordings back in the day where some people, like, joined a call or dropped out. It would just stop the recording and it never told you. Like, well, that's good, like, 20 minutes wasted.
Top tier technology.
Yeah, I mean, that whole experience taught us both, like, yeah, we gotta look into different options, and obviously that transitioned well as a future proof for leaving the platform. I just gave up a long time ago, and I went, I'm just gonna use Camtasia for everything, and like whatever the volume level is when the recording starts, too bad. It's just give me voice meter. Just give me voice meter and some virtual cables, and we're good.
Do you guys remember how we shared our because before we started doing the format, we shared screens. Do you remember the programs we had to go through to share the screens?
Oh my goodness, don't get me started. So I remember hilariously at one point, I was going to a LAN party and someone's just gone, yeah, we'll just use TeamViewer for something. I've gone, no, we will not. We will not be using TeamViewer. And they're like, why is that? I'm like, because TeamViewer is for PowerPoints and nothing else.
Because TeamViewer is a bucket.
As is Makogo.
Yeah.
Makogo, why you lag?
I think the moral of the story is the more we talk about these old programs, the more we're like, man, we're just glad a program like Discord exists, because that's everything in one. It's just missing our recorders. But we already have that, so we're good. I think actually, I'm pretty sure when I did the extra mode run of Kirby's Dream Land, I think I actually changed the boss icon to the Makogo logo. Because that was pretty much your boss at that time, because it kept on crashing. The final boss. The final boss is always Makogo.
I can't believe that. I think, was it me that suggested Makogo when we first started?
I think so, because I would have been the one who would have suggested TeamViewer, because I was using that for remote access stuff. It's like, well, it also has a presentation mode, so we could just use this instead, guys. I think that's why we swapped off it after like a year. Hilariously, because I was so green with even Skype, I remember I feel like at one point I even vaguely suggested maybe it would be worth trying Raid Call at one point, and I'm just like, oh my god, that's a Yeah, I don't even know if we ever looked into that.
I think we made it like once. I think I remember that.
I had like a folder that was purely just installs and executables of different screen sharers and voice chatters, and I've gone. I've found a relic of its time. Now Discord does everything.
It still just baffles me. I remember like Mikogo when we first started doing that. We accidentally gave everybody the power to click on the screen.
And that's when we still had the big group, so there was like at least 8 cursors on the screen at once.
Yes.
I was just trying to commentate on the videos.
The cursor era. Why is this a function?
Stop clicking.
Kind of why, like in the future, when I looked into the TeamViewer presentation mode and we're like, well, hey guys, you go in the options, so you just turn off the mouse clicks. I immediately do that like every time installed. I'm not giving you guys any more power.
And still the number of recordings.
Go ahead, Marlon.
You go, Matt.
I remember when I was using my crappy laptop I had back then, and it was overheating so much I had to put it in grayscale all the time whenever I had to show you guys my series.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah, it was like the computer you had. It's like you open up a web page and all of a sudden the thermals just go crazy.
It was bad. Anyways, Marley, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, like, it's funny all the times that we went, yeah, we have to turn the clicker off for all of this, and yet still, the number of recordings that I actively every time still forgot to turn it off, and somehow we would get halfway through a playthrough, and in spite of our greenness and our rambunctiousness, we somehow managed to coordinate groups of 7 to 8 people not to click on the screen for 20-minute videos. Multiple at a time. Somehow.
I mean, I'll give us credit for that. I don't know how that didn't become a catastrophic failure.
But hilariously, I think it's funny looking back and being like, that was a win for us, was, controlling the urge not to be... controlling the urge not to click on someone else's screen.
Oh my gosh. But as the years went by, we got better tech, better ways to show people this stuff, and then we ultimately just stopped doing like screen recorder stuff or screen.
Yeah. Well, in the original first year, a lot of our playthroughs we just did live, where we had us one of us was playing the game and then everyone else was watching via some kind of screen share. But after a couple of playthroughs in, we realized that format, it doesn't really work. I think the only way that kind of format works for us is if it's a co-op game of some kind, but not necessarily a single player game.
Yeah, or blind playthroughs. I think actually Zero Mission was the very last one we did like that. And I mean, to be fair, you can't really do post-commentary on a blind playthrough. And even then, I think that was after we had done the Discord merge quite a while ago, but because Discord, I think this was before Discord had a particularly reliable screen sharing setup in it, and we were still using TeamViewer in tandem with it. And even then, TeamViewer still managed to glitch out some of the footage to a point where, if anyone watches the blind playthrough of Zero Mission, you may notice the bottom 10 pixels of the screen have been cropped out because they had smeared together in the footage.
Ugh.
And I could not undo it.
It was some weird issue where it just glitched out onto your screen, and it didn't happen unless you were using TeamViewer and then your recording software at that time.
Yeah, and then Discord added more reliable group call screen sharing, and the problem has never returned because it's all being done in the one app, and I've just gone, thank you! Because this was the kind of setup that took Skype until 2014 to make work, and by that point we were on the verge of shifting platform anyway.
Yeah.
Oh.
Skype was so compressed with audio too.
Yeah, I mean, at least, Discord's still compressed nowadays, but by comparison, it was you get quadruple your bitrate in sound. You can actually understand people in this program, compared to Skype, where everyone just sounded like they used a $10 Walmart microphone in a tin can.
Or they just swallowed it.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes that actually did happen. Some of us had our mics too hot back in the day, and they were very loud.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Look at me.
And me, yeah.
I think the incredible thing is I kept using my same webcam for basically everything for quite a lot of my content, but the first time I started doing good quality screen recorded stuff, I was using a leftover set of headphones I had from high school, and the microphone had the sensitivity of, was more sensitive than a wet piece of tissue paper, so it peaked whenever I breathed.
Yeah.
Like, you can really hear it in that first playthrough is, my voice is shonky, is the best way I can describe it. It is shonky.
That's why in like 2014, I made the jump of like, I can't use a headset mic anymore, because for recordings, you would be super quiet when you talk normal, but if you get excited in any way, you overdrove the microphone and it just sounded like you're screaming all the time. It was terrible. So I finally, in 2014, said, yeah, no more headsets, just get a microphone and move it away from your mouth. There, done. Now you don't sound like garbage.
Yes.
It
like,
cracks so bad.
Yeah, like, that's the beautiful thing of doing content creation. And like, I'll just say this flat out. The joys of having to upgrade our tech and get all of this stuff sorted out means if you ever then work in electronics retail, you've got a lot of really good experience to share with customers when they want to buy this stuff.
Dude, like anytime anyone has a question about audio or like a capture card or something, it's like, well, I have the information for you, because there's so much research done over the years to figure out what's useful for like this task or that task, or what's good at like one specific thing, or it's like there's so many different things that you just learn over these past 10 years. I even mentioned that in like my own 10-year anniversary video I did back in like February of this year. When I first started doing all this, I had no idea what the heck like an XLR is, or like HDMI cards or whatever. Nowadays it's like, yeah, I got you. What do you need?
I got you, bro. But I know, like, when was this? Like 2015, 2014, 2015, when we made the shift of doing post commentary stuff on our videos.
I think we kind of did that within like the first year in general. Around, I think it was like the beginning of 2012, we started to do more of our stuff in post-com.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
I know we did it when I did Silent Hill. We did post-com. So
oh yeah, maybe I'm just.
Yeah, Silent Hill was one of our big ones for post-com back in the day.
Yeah. I feel like
all the years kind of melded together at once.
It's fair. Matt, going back to look at some of the old footage, I am amazed just how much stuff happened in 2013.
Yeah, 2013 was our most active year, I think.
Yeah, that was when the group was, I think, at its largest size, and the content we put out was the most prevalent. Because I think that year we released at least 15 playthroughs of varying different sizes.
Yeah,
that was a lot going on, not only on our individual channels, but just on the league as well.
Yeah.
So like, I look back and I go, have we been less productive? I'm like, no, we've been more structured.
Yeah, because nowadays we can do a lot more big projects. Like, I look at two of the biggest projects that I've done so far for the LPerLeague, which is like Ocarina of Time and Sonic Heroes. Ocarina just being one of our longest playthroughs to date, and Sonic Heroes being a game where we played 4 versions for one series. Yeah, like 2011 me would have never done that.
Yeah. I think my longest one was when, I think it was like the first time we implemented our Raw channel for the Raw playthroughs is when we started Sonic 06. And that was a playthrough and a half too.
Yeah, because that was like a 35-part playthrough back then.
Yeah. I had fun recording that, and that was one of the last playthroughs I did on my original Xbox 360 I had. And I've officially kind of retired my 360 because, well, one, I mean, the other Xbox consoles kind of, do the same thing, but also mine's still a white one that has red ring problems, and I don't want to die. So
yeah,
it's when you want to take.
You've got to really. It's the kind of thing where you need some kind of merger or backup option to be confident in pushing it to its last legs, or just going, we got to get everything off here and onto something else fast.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Sonic 06 was the first playthrough that we did with the new Raw channel we started, and
Yeah.
and it also doing these post commentary style videos, I feel like helped us in a way because it allowed us to surprise the group with funny edits.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's also, I think, kind of helped all of us learn how to edit our videos better, too. Because a lot of the tricks I can use in, like, the leak videos, I've implemented to my own stuff over the years, too.
Yeah, same here. Like, I know I have at least 1 or 2 gags that happen in videos now when we're doing on a league, and it's always funny to see the reaction of you guys whenever you get to that part in the video. Just hear you guys laughing at it, and I know that I actually did a good job of doing that.
When you put that Max Mofos shock in with the eel part and Kirby, I was falling out of my dang chair.
Yeah.
It was just so good. I'm like, yes!
One I still go back and watch every once in a while is the edit I did for Kirby Superstar to transition us from the Super Nintendo version to the DS one. Because that really got you guys. You weren't expecting it.
I'm just like, wow. I'm just sitting here just like, wow, okay, I can't beat that now.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, let's just show off a game-breaking glitch that deletes your save data. Okay, now let's just put a funny little edit to transition into a different version. Just, yep, that worked. The fact that works so cleanly is one of my favorite edits I've done.
I still think one of my favorite edits that I did, well, I have a couple funny favorite edits I did. The first one that really got me was the surprise Patrick during the infamous kiss scene of Sonic 06.
Oh my goodness, yes. The Patrick,
Yeah.
my goodness.
None of us were
I
expecting.
watched that video lately, and I can tell Lester's voice from everybody else's on that video. You about killed Lester in that video.
Yeah. I think I was definitely the one who was the most surprised with that back then.
Because, like, immediately, as soon as Patrick came on the screen, Lester lost it.
Like Lester full on, like, Joel Vinesauce laugh. Like, unable to sing Nickelback's Photograph, Joel Vinesauce laugh. That level of absolute cannot breathe. That level of I am broken, please send help.
Hey, when you get that kind of reaction from me, that's when you know you had a good edit.
Which is why, again, I'm so proud of the reaction I got out of Matt when I did the Metal Knuckles edit. That is one of my personal favorites. Like, I'm still so freaking pleased with that one.
I just love on that playthrough when you roboticized the oh no when he blew up. That just got me so good. Oh, I love that.
By the way, Marley, did you ever send that error report?
No.
Oh, the Yep.
Yeah, Knuckles.exe, he crashed. You gotta send that error report.
Another one of my favorite edits was in the Fusion playthrough, where we got to Ridley, and everybody knows in Fusion, Ridley's screen breaks its speakers of the Game Boy Advance. And I just said, I don't wanna have that, be ingrained in everybody's minds. I know it's funny to talk about that stuff, but I'm just like, let's just put a kitty cat noise in there instead.
Oh my god! I briefly, then you've just gone. When we got to Ridley, I'm like, the meow. Yes, the meow.
One of the loudest sounds in the game was just the quietest cat meow, like big whiplash.
Well, I can tell you guys now that I've still been fighting on which version of Sonic 3 I'm going to record for the Knuckles run, but some of the edits I have in mind, I am going for the same kind of reaction of Marley, why did you do this? Why wouldn't I do this? So...
I still like to throw in, I'm the meme guy, so I try to throw in as much memes as I can and when they happen and all this other stuff, and I always love it when you guys laugh at the edits or just see the viable confusion looks on your guys' face when the edits come up, because it's I don't know, this is a good way for me not only to talk about games I love from my childhood, a lot of games that I love to play even to nowadays standards, but it also this is basically my time just to hang out with you guys.
Pretty much.
Do what friends do, and being able to see you guys laugh like that, like, you know, this is just me having a fun time with my friends. That's another reason why I always enjoy doing these videos on this channel over the years, is because this is really my chance to be with my friends.
Yee. I mean, you guys saw what happened when, you know, Lester left a screenshot of a thumbnail with Shrek in it in the call, and then everyone went for a bathroom break, and I'm like, you guys have made a terrible mistake. And I just start singing Shrek, and people were just like, what are you doing, Marley? What are you doing? And I'm like, check Twitter.
You broke Amber when you did that, Marley. You really did.
That's why it's got so many views. I'll raise my hand on that one.
Just keep on watching it on loop.
I actually went and downloaded it on my computer so I could just rewatch it every day if I wanted to.
Good morning, world. Where's the Marley video?
I'll admit, when YouTube added the shorts option, I've just gone, should I do this? And then I've got, no, this is actually going to get me DMCA'd on that platform. It's stupid enough that I might get away with it on Twitter, but no hope in heck of me getting away with it on YouTube.
I mean,
again, YouTube tried to copy my... Remember when YouTube copyrighted my face?
Yeah, I was about to bring that up because I just said, yeah, that was a common joke in our group here. It's like, remember that time that YouTube just DMCA'd Marley's face? It's just like, how do someone claim my face? It's on my face.
Like, no even good argument for it. It's just, yeah, you can try to dispute this, but we claim you. You're ours now.
You're gonna have to face it. It's my face.
Hey, that's my job.
I think that's the other thing we're very guilty of, is that the in-jokes have become so prevalent, we just reuse them off each other. Like, I remember one of the Twin World recordings that we started again because something went wrong with the raw loading. Lester made a joke about the memes being dank in the forest from the Ocarina of Time playthrough, and then we had to start the raw again, and then I opened with the line that he started with. He's just gone, you stole my joke. What? You stole my joke?
Meme steal it. The one time I meme and he takes it.
You had a whole forest for the meme.
But yeah, we've also, you know, over the years, we've also changed, you know, not only our way we've always recorded these things, but like, you know, we've changed up our branding up a lot with the thumbnails and everything. I know we went with Amber, you came up with the design for the thumbnails.
Yeah.
And, you know, we kind of went to town with, well, especially you, Marley, you went to kind of town with them with redoing all the old ones with the new template.
But we gotta give you props for that, because that was like hundreds of videos.
Yeah, I
was just like, we need to, like, we can't necessarily work to the advantage of the algorithm, but you know what we can have? Consistency.
Yeah, we definitely have that.
We can at least have that. And like, I kind of, and there was a part of me that's like, do I want to go with the aesthetic from the background from each era? I'm like, no, that's gonna look even worse. And then Matt's just like, we've got a template, that's what we use. I'm like, cool. Time to troll through 200 and something videos and let's just do it. It's gonna be good.
Like 7 years worth of footage.
Yeah, really.
Hilariously, some of the stupid jokes I used for edits in like my oldest videos, I'm like, oh hey, I've still got this dumb image. That's the thumbnail now. Like the one of Centaur Man being a woman in one of the comics of Mega Man 6, and I'm like, yeah, that's the thumbnail. That's the thumbnail because I brought it up in the middle of Lester's roars.
I mean, it's like sometimes even just those weird jokes we have just work. I don't know why. This is like the first one that always comes to mind for me. It was like the finale of the Sonic Rider Zero Gravity. There was like a phone that went off in the middle of the video, and they were just like, well, the robot just got a text message, so, you know what, let's just incorporate that in the thumbnail. Just give him a phone.
Yeah, pretty much. Or like, what was it? One of the Star Fox, was it one of the Star Fox Assault thumbnails that you made, you know, Baby Gohan with Icarus, and you put my face over it?
Yeah, your face. I don't even remember what the conversation was in particular for that, but it's just, Yeah, we brought up the Gohan thing and it's like, just put your face over it.
Yeah. Sure. I can't remember either. I can't, like, I remember I went back to it and I'm just like, somewhere there's jokes in there, and I think even then the joke was only there for about 20 seconds, and like, in that episode we also had a bunch of random moments of joking about Falco just saying stupid stuff, and then also about Panther being Goku Rose,
Yeah.
and also being Moroku from Inuyasha. I'm like, there are too many jokes in here. I'm amazed you actually managed to find one to stick with for the thumbnail.
Yeah. Sometimes that's the hardest thing when you're making up a title or a thumbnail for these videos. It's like, well, there's so much going on. What's a good one to use? Because there's too many good ones.
Yeah. Sometimes the best thing to do is just screen cap and then take the text of whatever someone said and then just make it fill the whole screen.
That's what I sometimes have to do just in the middle of videos, too.
I think I ended up doing that with like one of the Sonic Riders ones for when Wave is just going on an absolute tirade at Jet, and I'm just like, yeah, this works as a thumbnail. Sure. Sure.
One of the memories I have, and I hope you take this in a good way, Marley, is one thing we knew you was in the call and you were in the recording is we heard bird noises in the background all the time.
Oh,
Yes. Yeah.
Maka, the gift that keeps on giving. You know, the hilarious thing is, I made that montage of all the times he squawked in the videos, and I keep finding more videos that I missed.
Or, you know, earlier days when I lived next to the train tracks and we had Steve come by.
Yeah.
Those are some of my favorite memories of starting off on the league, is just either hearing a bird in the background or a train.
Or hearing a train just wallow by.
Yeah, I think the Steve thing actually sparked from the LPerLeague for that reason, because we were the ones who brought it up.
Yeah, because Jarrett says...
That's how you know Steve.
That's how you know Steve
goes
is
by.
coming. And then we were like, okay, I guess the train's name's Steve now.
Yes.
It's funny because I even incorporated him in my videos on my channel because, you know, I can't predict the train schedule. And, you know, back then looking at this, I'm like, Matthew, why did you even start this hobby? Why did you even start this hobby knowing where you lived? Why?
Yeah, we just look back and like, man, I got regrets.
You know,
Hey, he just became a member, okay?
and I just thought, you know, it's funny. People probably think it's annoying in the video when the train went by in the middle of my recording sound, but I tried to play off of it. You know, it's like, this is a sentient being. He's my friend Steve. He's train comes by every hour to make himself known in the videos.
Yeah. Like, the number of times I would turn to Maka and I'd just be like, no, you know, I'm right. I'm alright. I'm sorry. You're right. And then he just squawks at me and I just look at him and I'm like, are you done? I've actually just kept one of the squawks just as a, just as an audio clip to just randomly add in for other jokes occasionally. Like, I think there's one joke in my Boost Fury playthrough where it's, like, got the Deke logo from the end of Sailor Moon, but instead of the Deke clip, I just put in a squawk instead. I'm just like, because why not? Just, why not?
That's pretty clever.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Of course, nowadays, my own problem with my audio, I mean, I hope everybody knows that we don't have setups like major YouTubers do where we have our own recording studio with soundproof walls and all this other stuff. We don't have that. So I literally record in my living room. So, but, you know, it's just like, now my main issue is when the cats come in, you hear the jingle from the cat's collar all the time, and I've tried to edit those out as much as I can, but sometimes I just get past there.
Or you hear Molly whining.
Or hear my dog whining.
Those were a mistake.
I mean, I'm not mad about it or nothing. It just gives my videos a personal thing. There's this one video I recorded, and it hasn't gone up on YouTube yet. It really has, but at the very end, it's when my cats, they were almost 2 years old now, when they were a baby, we go,
Aww.
and I said, I can't, and this, I was editing the video, and this is an older video. I'm just like, I can't take this out. I can't. I can't, because it was when he was a baby. He was an itty bitty little thing, and I was just like, I can't take that out. I'm sure
Like,
viewers wouldn't mind that either.
Yeah, there's one bit where I was like interacting with my dog Tiz, and literally he started growling at something down the driveway, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like, no, the commentary's stopping, and I'm bouncing off this. And then I think that was actually in my Legacy of Goku 2 playthrough, the first instance of me putting in a forced commercial break joke. So I'm like, okay, this is a template now that I have to add back in random stupid spots. Awesome. It's done.
One thing
Yeah.
I've incorporated to my videos a lot, and it started with LPerLeague, is I've taken the to be continued from JoJo's Bizarre Adventures and made that not to be continued on my videos anymore.
Yeah, I've noticed that, because like watching back the Dead Space stuff we've been uploading to our channels, every time you're ready to end your part, you put the to be continued there. And you got that from just doing the League stuff.
Yeah, I started throwing that in with the backtracking episodes of Zero Mission as well, and I was like, yes, now we're shine sparking in the other direction. Plays it backwards. It's just like, yeah, I didn't even know what the meme was from. I'm just like, this is a Grand Theft Auto thing, isn't it? And I'm like,
no, it's a JoJo's Bizarre Adventures thing.
And I'm just like, no, you goofball. It is.
No, I got used a lot for GTA memes.
Yeah. And then, like, one of my friends who's actually in Melbourne, made it a redeem of his on Twitch, so that, like, when it goes off, he has to stop what he's doing and do a JoJo pose for, like, a solid 10 seconds. The problem is, because of the fact that the song is copyrighted, no one can ever make any clips of it.
Yeah.
So, even though it's 10 seconds, the DMCA slam is not heavy enough that it gets a copyright claim, but heavy enough that no one can make a clip with that footage anywhere within the the 2 minute bracket on the slider. Which is just really annoying, and I'm like, luckily, I have Camtasia, so this stuff's just going straight to Twitter.
Yeah.
So there's one bit where he's just like, I don't know what to do. So I'm just taking a clip of him where it comes into the screen and he just goes and collapses on the floor in the background, and I'm just like, these are the skills I have learned from doing doofus stuff on YouTube. Thank you, you're welcome.
I mean, one of these days, Twitter's just, I can just imagine, because it happened to Twitch. One of these days, DMCA is going to be really upset that all this stuff's getting uploaded there, and they're going to put their ban hammer, and Twitter's going to have a frantic meltdown and start banning.
Oh, every site does that.
Yeah, one of AlphaRad's editors actually had his account terminated this week because of a video edit he made in 2016 that was sitting with a DMCA slam on it, and he's gone, well, good thing I have an alt.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this guy does video editing. This is his platform of stuff. You've literally liquidated the last 5 years of his content. What are you doing?
Yeah, that's obviously the problem when you do this kind of stuff. Because remember back in the early days when we were making videos and we had no idea what DMCA even meant or what that could really do to a channel? We just used copyrighted crap in all of our stuff.
Yeah, and then when we got it, we were like, oh no, did I get a strike on the channel? Oh no!
Yeah, it was 2013, I think we really started to learn how serious strikes could really get because of whole Nintendo thing happened, so like the copyright thing was in the news like every week. Even though it was a completely different thing, it just taught us, let's kind of be careful what we do going forward. So don't put that song from like, I don't know, All-Star in here. Just don't do that. I don't care how good the meme is, just don't put it in here.
You know, it kind of reminds me that this talk about it is, this is not on League, but this is on my channel, and I'm kind of, like, I love that video, but looking back at it, I regret it so much the way I handled it, was the part 0 of Rayman Revolution.
Oh,
yeah, you had like flashing lights at one point in that.
I had flashing lights in that video, and I really regretted making that. I should put it. I almost want to take it down, but it's such a funny video. I don't want to do it.
I think I had to use that video, I think in something here for the League in like the past year or so, and when I got to that, I just screenshotted one of the easier sections you could read, and just that's it. No flashing lights, just one color, please.
I just say in the description, just put seizure warning. Don't mind me, I was naive and young.
I'm thinking about doing that. Also, the song that they played during that little clip, it was a JonTron clip, and the music there got copyrighted all there.
Oh
so.
yeah, because it's the techno remix of Chopsticks. That's right.
Yeah, so it's an official song, and that obviously isn't safe.
But over the years, it's just like the whole point of the video is recollecting on all the stuff that happened over the 10 years, and you learn to grow from it.
Yeah.
It's just like even stupid little things that you do. But past 10 years were really good time, especially since I met you guys, and you guys are like best friends I have in my life, and I'm really thankful every day that I talk to you guys about starting this, because
absolutely,
this was honestly the best decision that I've made in my life. One of the best decisions I made in my life.
Yeah, and I'm really glad that this channel's still going, because, like, okay, yes, we've got our own channels and our own schedules going on, but I would not take back any of the crazy, ridiculous nonsense that we've done through this channel. It's fantastic, and it continues to be fantastic to be a part of it.
Yeah, I mean, we all still have like big ideas for the channel, what we want to do next, and it's good, because that still shows that even 10 years later, we still have the drive to do this kind of stuff, and we're not feeling burnt out. Because I know a lot of people, after even like a handful of years of doing this kind of stuff, people just start moving on, and they do get that burnout feel, and just they don't look back.
And I know that Let's Playing in general, I say this as, I'm still love doing it and all this other stuff, but it is kind of becoming a dying form of entertainment on YouTube, especially. And
that's why keeping it alive is such an important thing, because we enjoy doing it. We're not trying to, work with the algorithm or fight the algorithm. We're just trying to have fun.
This is literally just a group of friends making videos of games we love. That's really all it is, and that's all it will be.
Yeah, pretty much. We've really enjoyed all the different things we put out over the years, and we still want to do that. And it's, as you mentioned even earlier in this video, Matt, it's like our time to just kind of hang out with each other, catch back up, and just have a good time, really.
Yeah.
It's an escape from all these other things that we're doing in life. It just gives us a good chance just to have fun.
Yeah.
And then also, as a bonus, to entertain you guys at home watching.
Yeah.
Do we have to do that?
Can we be boring instead?
I mean, I could just private all of our future videos so that we can only watch them. Nobody else.
Yeah, no. Moving forward, we need to be boring. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my playthrough of Fortnite. Don't trust these guys.
Okay.
They're guilty of foot lettuce. I don't know.
We should also get rid of that good audio quality too. I'm just gonna take away this microphone.
Yes, back to Potato Land. Let me get my camera. I'll put it on the tripod or on a lunchbox so it can keep falling over.
Yeah, you know what I can also just do? I could be like every other person, just have this thing halfway across the room.
Oh, God.
It's a terrible idea. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Hey, it's not as bad as my first couple videos where I used a Rock Band microphone.
Yeah, I mean, you were one of like the many back then who used the Rock Band mic, and the funny thing is, we've kind of come full circle, because those are still considered decent mics, but a lot of people just recommend, get a dynamic mic. You know how back in the day everyone used that Rock Band mic or something like that. So we kind of come full circle when you think about it.
And then there's just me, who's stubborn as ever, and people are just like, Molly, what mic do you use? I'm like, I've been using the same webcam for 9 years. I don't know what to tell you, good or bad, about my audio quality.
Yeah, you're like, until this thing is stopped working, it's usable. I'm using it.
Yeah. Which, is unfortunate, because wherever the webcam is sitting, you can notice differences in where it spikes. And I can really see it in playthroughs where I've moved over the duration of the playthrough and the camera angle has shifted. I've gone, oh no.
You know what?
Yeah.
And then, like, the real the real kicker, given the nature of my channel, is when I notice the peaking. The one thing it hates the most is musical instruments.
Oh yeah.
And that is the reason why a certain kind of content has not been on my channel for quite some time, because all of my audio equipment is not complementary to my musical instrument.
Yeah, you probably need to get yourself a standalone mic for like your sax stuff.
Oh yeah. Like I've had I've had 3 friends already say one has a spare mic and 2 of them have both wireless mics and wireless gaming headsets with sound blockers on them, and they're like, you can have these to try and tidy this up, and you've given me 5 options. I cannot begin to comprehend this. I just really hope they cooperate.
Yeah, I'll just give you one recommendation. The ones who said, here, have this wireless headset, just walk away now, please don't. No. No.
I mean, okay, the benefit of the wireless headset is that the mic part is optional. What I'm going to use that for is moving around in my room, because I'm still using, like, El Cheapo earbuds plugged into my standing speakers that I never turn on when I don't have anything plugged into them anyway. So I think the main thing I'm going to be using those for is having a set of headphones that go over my ears comfortably, that don't tangle me constantly, that I can actually move around with without dragging everything onto myself. So there are going to be advantages.
Yeah, I mean, as wireless headphones, that's a good idea. It's just, as a microphone, a lot of gaming headsets are very much considered utter garbage when it comes to their mics, when you get to the wireless side, because it's super compressed down, and it definitely sounds like you're talking a tin can $20 headset from Walmart.
And yet people still yell down them, and people at the other end go, "Why do you do this to me?"
Exactly.
No, but I was remembering when you were talking about your spiking thing, just reminded me of the early days of the mechanical keyboard.
Oh, the keyboard! Oh
yeah,
my
exactly.
goodness, the keyboard. Oh, that thing. That delightful piece of tech.
Yeah, and for you League gamers, now we're just typing on the sad W keys. Turn down your keyboard!
Yeah, I have actually a couple of friends who went, I hate current keyboards. I'm getting a mechanical keyboard. Is it going to be louder? Yes. Is it quality content? Deal with it.
I mean, of course they're going to be louder. It's the switches. The switches are like super clicky compared to like a mushy membrane, which is like tapping on a sponge.
To this day, still the reason why the Nintendo DS feels more comfortable than the 3DS.
Yeah, because of the clicky buttons.
Yeah, I said it.
Yeah, I can agree with like even the peaking thing, because I remember when besides the headsets having the issue of super quiet when you're talking and then really loud when you laugh or something, then it's just like the early days of me using a condenser microphone for like the first 2 years. I just used that included stand that it came with, that was just on the desk. So for one, yes, that typing issue was a problem. I remember in our Portal race, I actually got a standalone table to put the microphone on to get it away from the keyboard so it wouldn't be picked up, because otherwise the microphone and the keyboard would be like an inch away from each other and it would just sound horrible.
The funny thing about that playthrough actually is, looking back, I can even tell the way that my approach to content creation has changed, and especially because of the fact that we keep sending each other into fits of laughter, even my laugh has changed.
Oh yeah.
Like, I look at early League stuff, my laugh is an inhale, so it turns into like this high-pitched, deflating balloon squeal, which really explains why my microphone kept peaking so much. Now you look at how I do it, and when I laugh, I intentionally lean away from my desk because I know it's going to peak the microphone, and also because I'm falling about in laughter, and I'm like, I need to protect my mic, and I also need to lean towards the bed to catch myself because I'm going to hit the floor.
Yeah, when you laugh so hard, you fall over.
Puts a new spin on the rolling on the floor laughing.
As opposed to like my laughter in like the first few League playthroughs, either on the headphones or with the webcam, where I would laugh and inhale and lean into the microphone.
Yeah, I know how that feels, because I did that for a little bit too, and it's like you could tell, because at least in the days I had it on the desk, I had to have the level set in such a way where if I started to move a little bit away, it wouldn't get quiet. But I remember if I was in your proper distance of like about a foot, every other word would just sound way too loud. I will tell you, pro tip for anyone using any kind of a microphone, $20. Decent boom arm or like a mic stand or something, get it. My back loves me now because I'm not hunched back for like 5 hours using a microphone on a desk anymore. That gave me so much back pain and it peaked so much. Moving it away from stuff is the pro tip, and then you can adjust it where you need to for comfort. Also, pro tip, buy anything that has a headphone jack because it's so nice to hear yourself back in your own head.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm gonna shift away from this for just a second because I kind of wanted to talk about how all of us actually got into League.
Yeah. Yeah, because each one of us has a different story to that, but it
Yeah.
ultimately kind of circles back to you because you were the one who kind of like started this channel.
Well, when I first started doing Let's Plays that year, I did a kind of a thing that's kind of taboo nowadays. I started back when YouTube had add a friend button on it. I started adding friends like crazy just to see if I can, start networking in a way, kind of get my word of my channel out and everything. And I thought about, some of the people that talked to me quite a bit. I thought about doing a collaboration channel with them. I just met you, Lester, not too long after I started, and I found you through your Pokemon Coliseum Let's Play, and I started commenting on it because it was really well done, and I invited you to it. Marley, I met you through other mutuals. That's how I met you, and Amber actually. Oh, you want?
I'll tell that part.
You want to tell that part? Okay,
Go ahead and finish yours.
But yeah, that's kind of how we got the idea of starting this collab was just basically I was going around just meeting a bunch of people and decided to start a group with them. But Lester, how did you join?
Yeah, so like as you said, you found me through my Pokemon Coliseum Let's Play I did back in the day. So we kind of commented back and forth on our videos after that, because when you left a comment on mine, then I started to check out your videos and kind of did the same thing, watching your, like at the time you were doing like the Smash Brothers 64 playthrough, and then like we just kind of commentated back and forth on some of our stuff for a while too. And after we did like a handful of videos, like I joined you in your Pokemon White and then you in my Pokemon Yellow, you asked me, like, do you want to join this group? And I said, because I was new to all this at the time, I thought that'd be a really cool idea, so let's try it. Sure.
And now here we are.
Yeah.
10 years later.
Pretty much. Like, I think really carefully back to, well, like Matt said, it was a case of mutuals who had been sort of receiving that whole friend ad thing, had messaged me and just been like, hey, Matt's wanting to make this collab group idea thing. Did you want to just hop on Skype? And then I'm like, I mean, I don't have Skype, I'll have to install it. So like, I'm just like, oh my god, what am I doing? Young 19-year-old me, not knowing what he was doing, and just like I had at most recorded maybe 3 playthroughs, all with a camera. And it's like, you want to be part of a collab group? And I'm like, I don't think I know what I'm doing, but sure, better to not pass up the opportunity. And I was also dealing with the fact of going, oh, these people getting partnered and with really good quality, and I can't even get my camera to stay straight. How am I going to work in a collab group? What is this? And then I joined the Skype call, and there's about 8 other people there. I'm going, I am nervous as heck, but this is kind of cool. And then it's just like, hey, you want to jump into a Final Fantasy recording? I'm like, sure. And they're like, cool, we're on part 3. And I'm like, wait, you guys have what? What? There's been more than one? And then I'm like, oh, great, I've got to work out how to record screen. And like literally the difference in quality on the League, even in the early days, was kind of the push that made me go, I've got to work out how to do this better, because I definitely, like, the camera is working at the moment, but I want to be able to add to this group, and I don't want to record with a camera to add to this group, and I don't want to go the unregistered Hypercam 2 route either. I need to find something that works. And then literally, I think even still now, I am the only one still using Camtasia, and the hilarious thing is I've tagged them on Twitter and just gone, I've had to upgrade to a different version of Camtasia, hopefully it works, and they've gone, hopefully it works for you too, and I'm like, what is this? Like, I literally have, since transitioning to using Camtasia late 2011, when I did the Sonic 1 playthrough, like, that messy commentary, I'm loud and everyone else is incredibly quiet, and Labyrinth Zone is drowning everyone out, but you can still slightly hear them. Yep, I was, yeah, even now I'm tagging Camtasia on Twitter and they're like, hope it works. I'm going, what is life?
This is now why, I mean, as much as I can record everything on multiple tracks. I mean, Discord is one limitation there, because I can at least adjust everyone's volume individually, which helps, but once it's in that recording, I guess I can't change it. I can change me, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think just the funny thing is, people I know who started with streaming and then went, I kind of want to upload this stuff on YouTube. They've just gone, I'll just use what OBS spat out and I'll work it out from there and maybe throw it into Adobe Premiere. Oh god, now I've got to learn Adobe Premiere. And I'm just sitting here and doing everything in Camtasia, and I'm just like, I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, the current market of streamers learning how to edit videos has been an interesting ride.
Yeah.
But now I want to hear Amber's story of how, like, you ended up joining in the group too, because we haven't gotten a chance to talk about that one yet.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. No, I'm kidding.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I like hearing your story. So basically mine, I have to start off on how I got into Let's Playing in general. I was staying with some family members at the time, and I was on their computer, which was dreading because they had Vista at the time on their computer.
Oh no.
I was trying to help them upgrade to Windows 7. And again, this was 2011, mind you. And I got on YouTube to look up a guide because we were having issues with one of the drivers. And in my recommendations, I got a gaming video on there from somebody named Josh Jepson, of all things. And I was like, this guy's playing Ocarina of Time on YouTube. What is this? And I started watching it, and I ended up watching the full playthrough. When I got home, I asked my dad if he could help me get some basic equipment, and he helped me get a standard with all the cords and a headset microphone. And I started recording, got 2 videos in, and quit on that channel. And then I was browsing YouTube one day, and I was in a Pokemon mood, and I searched out Pokemon, and the first video that came out was Matt's Pokemon White playthrough. And I watched it, and I was like, oh, this guy sounds calm and relaxing. Little did I know, but yes.
Little did you know.
He's not calm and relaxing. He won't stop.
And I left a comment, I think it was, or a message.
I think no, it was message. Back when YouTube had Messenger.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
I told him that I liked his video, and I thought it was a good video, and I'm glad he's playing Pokemon because I liked watching Pokemon. And we started talking through that. And like a week or 2 later after that, he messaged me saying, hey, we're starting a collab group. Do you want to be part of it? And he warned me, he's like, you might be the only girl that joins. I'm like, wait, what? 1, yes, I'll join. I may not top much, but I'll join. And 2, what do you mean I'm the only girl? I don't like this.
Well, I couldn't find any more.
But I'm glad I did join. I had even thought about saying no because I'm not good with being social online and offline both. But I'm glad I joined because that's how I met Lester. That's how I met pretty much everybody in the group. Marley, Jared, everybody. And I often think, like, what would have happened if I said no? Where would I be right now? And I wouldn't know you guys. So
And,
I'm glad
we're all socially awkward.
Yeah, just socially
Yeah.
awkward together,
Yeah.
which makes it more awkward.
You force 5 intro. That's 5. Yeah, 5 introverts to get together. They're not introverted no more. They're just introverted together.
Yeah, we're just goofy.
Yeah, pretty
Just
much.
yuck.
Professional goofballs, after all.
Yes, absolutely.
But yeah, that's I'm surprised that just going around. I was just trying to network because, back before I did my channel, I was on another channel. We were trying to do the same thing because we wanted to grow we both wanted to try to grow the sub numbers. But when I started doing this, I was more or less wanting to just people to watch my videos, not really care about subs that much. And I'm thankful I had that mindset because, like I said before, I met the greatest friends in my life, and I met my wife through it. I'm very thankful that we started doing this, because this has been really important to me. Really important to me that I've met, you guys. Because you guys are important to me.
Yeah, I'd say we're like one big happy goofball family.
Yes. Absolutely. And I feel like that mentality of not focusing on subs, just doing what we enjoy and just being ourselves is kind of still the reason we're still doing this, is that we haven't sort of fallen into the sort of the mindset that a lot of creators get into, which is that sustaining a channel or a viewership requires playing with the algorithm or catering to a certain audience. We're just like, well, we've got things that we want to do. We've got a long schedule in mind of things we want to do, and we just want to have fun with our friends. Simple.
Pretty much.
I'm kind of glad that we never really. I mean, not to say that that's not important. I'm not saying that. I'm not. But I'm kind of glad that we just never cared about, channel growth or nothing. Like, it's grown on its own because there are people out there that really like it, what we do.
No, that's
Whether or
just
not-
Lester making fake accounts again.
Yeah. I'm all the subs in one.
Oh gosh darn it, it's Kester again.
He's back from the grave.
Oh dear, Lester 059289339K Among Us emoji.
But yeah, I'm happy that we just do our own thing, and I feel like our channel has grown in a way that we're proud of it. We're all proud of it.
Exactly.
It's organic. It hasn't gone mainstream. That's the important thing. It's organic.
Yeah, we have our own nice little community of just the people who watch, and it pretty much jives with our own personalities too, and that's what we like.
Yeah.
Mm.
And we all kind of go off that same mentality, or at least how I handle it. It's like, if we make a video, it's like, if you don't enjoy it, if you don't enjoy watching that back, then you didn't make a good video. But I think everything we put out, that's how we feel. That we enjoyed this, so we know that hopefully others will feel the same.
Yeah, that's where we've been, where we're at after 10 years of being silly and making videos and just getting together to hang out and talk about games that we like and funny little things that we do in these games, and just sharing stories and sharing memes and stuff like that. And just I'm really happy that we're still here even after all this. It's just
Absolutely.
crazy to me that it's been 10 years. It's been a decade since we started doing it.
Yeah, it's hard to believe because the time just kind of flew by.
Yeah, it really did.
It's been a good 10 years, though.
Yeah, it has.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, and we're still looking forward to doing more.
Except for Matt.
Oh,
Dang
yeah.
it.
No, yeah, look, Matt's been the great part, right? Nudge, nudge, ha 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 ha, funny joke. What?
Dang it. I thought I was the bad part.
Oh, can we kick out the leader? Can we do that?
I mean, I'm the one who does run the channel, so I can just ban him. Just ban the one who made it.
Oh, golly.
But I haven't even done anything.
Get the ban hammer out, somebody bonk.
Go to league jail, bonk.
League jail.
You stay in there until we need you. Joke is, we just never come back.
Oh, League jail.
Wouldn't we all be in League jail then for not keeping up with the channel at this point?
The League is League jail.
The League is League jail.
We'll never leave. We lost the key a long time ago. We lost it 10 years ago when we started.
Yeah.
We haven't even dug the tunnels out yet. We needed
The League key. The League key was the group chat on Skype.
Oh no, Skype's long gone. Oh no. Now we're trapped in here forever.
Okay, like there's a real old analogy that viewers probably won't get. But remember when we tried to have a group chat on Skype and somehow we ended up with 3?
Yeah, we kept on making a new one for some reason. We never stuck to one.
We kept making new ones, and then there'd just be like one that we keep adding comments to, and it's just like, oh no, dead chat. Hang on, we weren't using this one. Weren't we using this one? What are we doing?
Yeah, we couldn't keep up for some reason. It's like, well, why did we make 3? I don't know, like, why one of us couldn't find the chat. Like, you know, we need to make a new chat. Sir, there was already one here.
It's just like I'd ping an old one so it pops back up in people's notifications. But by the time I've pinged that old one so that it's come back up, around the same time someone's made a second one. I've gone, well, never mind then.
Yeah, this is why now we just have a server in Discord and we can just do everything in the server.
If that was the main key, the backup key is the Twitter account we never got access back to.
Oh, jeez, you don't even mind. I still, to this day, try to report that old account to Twitter as a dead account so we can get the dang username back. That account still exists, and I don't know how.
Because Twitter.
I've reported it dozens of times as a inactive and dead account because the email doesn't exist for it anymore. They can't even recover from it.
Don't you just hate that?
Well, that account never be. That's gonna be there even after the channel.
It'll only get
survive.
nuked when Twitter gets nuked.
No, that'll be the one thing that survives. Twitter will go down, but the dang old account for the league on Twitter will survive.
Egads. Oh.
I guess if you want to, I think we should probably start closing this out. But I think one of the last things that I kind of want to mention and ask you guys is, out of all the different things that we've done, it doesn't matter if it's a playthrough you recorded for the channel or one of the ones we've did. You can have like an answer for both questions, but which one would you think would be probably your favorite you've done over like the past 10 years, and what's like the favorite of someone else's? If you can even pick one.
I was hoping you wouldn't ask me this question.
Well, I can.
I'm coming here with the loaded questions.
I can answer that pretty easily for myself. The favorite one I've done is probably the Pokemon Snap one.
Oh, the Snap one was fun.
I like that one because I did some different edits that I had never done before, and I thought it turned out pretty good. Plus, there was that little extra I put at the end of part 4, I think it was, where Marley was joining, and it sounded like he was in his workshop or something like that. We kept hearing like different saw blade noises.
Oh yeah.
I think, where would I have been? I may have possibly been at a Macca's using the local Wi-Fi there and just trying to get a stable connection, because it's like, work doesn't start for like 2 hours. I've got 2 hours free and I've got a croissant from Macca's. I might as well just sit down, whatever, or something, ham and cheese pocket. But regardless, I think I was just in a noisy place with local Wi-Fi. I'm like, yeah, this will work.
Yeah, I think that was during like the time period where we did have you in some recordings and you were doing it remote at that time, when you were just doing it like in between jobs and just kind of having like, well, I'm here on a boss for like 2 hours. Let's go ahead and record.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, like I know there's a decent portion of Kirby that was done that way, and there was like the finale of Star Fox Assault was done that way, which I'm still stunned I was able to get a stable enough connection on like mobile internet to not only watch the video but be in the Discord call at the same time. I'm like, how am I getting this to work? This would have never worked with Skype.
Yeah, I remember that was like, I think one of the first times you did that, and that was an interesting experience to edit that the first time around. Trying to make sure someone's not too much like overpowering over someone else. Like, man, this This is why I record my stuff with multiple audio tracks.
Apologies for the
To
occasional
answer
bus
the second
noise.
question, for somebody else's playthrough, it would probably be Lester's Ocarina, because the commentary in that playthrough just was brilliant in my opinion. It just flowed real good with the gameplay.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely.
for someone else's playthrough, I'd have to say Kirby Superstar is probably my favorite. I liked that one a lot. It was funny, and it was something that we all, liked and played through millions of times. And it was like,
I'm the opposite one.
well,
here.
you played,
but not millions of times.
well, okay, a million and maybe one time. There you go. But you still played it. I liked that playthrough a lot, and Lester's gag with the transitioning thing was funny. That was the one that I remember the most. For mine, I'm still gonna have to say Sonic 06 was probably my favorite one that I did.
That was a good one.
Just because that one took a long time to edit those videos because of all the dang loading screens I had to cut out.
Yeah, I mean, the game itself had a loading screen every 2 seconds, so I can imagine the post-edit time period on that.
Like, I remember the first episode, I just kept them in just to show you guys how bad it is. And I've even put little clips of commentary, text commentary over this. I said, why is this so long?
Yeah, dude, I remember about that playthrough is that you exported it out with the standard widescreen format that the game had back on your old analog connections, which was a weird letterbox thing. But I remember there was this hack trick back in the day in YouTube where you could put in a special code in your tags and it can zoom it in. But I didn't watch your video before I did that, so I cropped off all your text. So everyone in the video, because I wasn't in that one, but I watched it back, I can't read any of this. Yeah, sorry, that's my bad. I didn't know there was text in the video.
Text in a video game? What's this?
What's this? What was yours?
Ooh. I have to think. I think in terms of one done by someone else, I think I want to start there. There's a lot of options, which is the tricky thing, but I know I keep thinking back to the Kirby playthrough because there were just some solid parts where that just broke me and I didn't know what to think.
The People Deluxe playthrough?
Yeah, absolutely. There were just some gut-bustingly funny parts of that.
I can take one moment.
What, the Max Mofo?
No.
Yeah. Nova. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That Nova meme.
I was thinking when you read the entire B-movie script in the final part.
Oh yeah. I remember just losing it completely with that. I was wheezing. I could not handle I could not handle it. It was just so silly. I loved it.
There was so many
good.
That was a good playthrough when there were so many edits I did in it, and I forgot that the B movie was there at the very end, and that was my best one.
Yeah, that was probably the hardest one I think you've ever did, because you literally read an hour-and-a-half script.
You forgot about that?
I literally forgot about it.
You spent 6 hours recording the whole script and doing all that.
Oh yeah. I spent 3 hours just reading that
It was
dang thing.
6 because you kept
Was it
having to take
6?
a little break in between.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it is a long script.
I literally sat down that night and I read the whole dang thing and I said, this is just for a stupid gag. This is just for a stupid gag.
You were
that's
still
gonna be
recording
set
when I
up.
went to bed that night too. That was another thing.
I fell asleep. He was reading the B-movie script. I woke up. He was still reading the B-movie script.
I don't know where I got that.
Send help right now.
This is why I have nightmares.
And I'm gonna be honest.
You're not wrong,
I
Lester.
never watched B Movie before I read the script, and after I read this, I said, "This is such a stupid movie."
I think that actually did spark you to watch it. Like, you finally sat down and watched it after that.
No, I never watched it afterwards.
I thought you did.
No, I didn't.
So you used to have
3
it.
words, Matt. You like jazz?
You like jazz?
Well, you read
Yeah,
the script.
yeah.
You don't need to watch it.
I read the script. I don't need to watch.
Watch it. Relax.
I think he just got the movie from osmosis now.
Yeah, pretty much. What was he actually going to miss out on by that point? Oh, jeez. But in terms of a playthrough I've done for the League, that one's tricky because I've actually got all the folders in front of me now to try and work that out. I had to think really carefully about it. I honestly think it's probably the Rayman 2 playthrough, if I'm really completely honest. And it's partially because that's where I think I started to really sort of finalize my stupid edit transition pattern that has persisted through the League videos that I do. But also I had the joy of making that playthrough coming off the heels of Matt doing the blind playthrough of Revolution. So when something was cheesed very easily, or something that gave him slight PTSD from having done that playthrough came up, he'd just be like, no.
Yep. I remember that because of just how hard certain sections were there. And it's just like, yeah, I one-shot it in this version.
And just also like some of the jokes and the edits I put in there, in hindsight, they really show my age, for better or worse. But then there was just sort of the hilarity of every time I go back to the comment section of some of those videos, someone else has found something else new in there that they hadn't realized, or someone who gets a joke of a transition I've made finally finds that video and goes, I get that reference. And I'm like, this is still doing numbers.
Yeah.
This is still doing numbers.
It does, yeah, like, it is a good playthrough to go back to. I want to be honest, like, I'll admit, like, it's hard to go back to a lot of our early stuff, of how much we've changed, and I really think we kind of cemented on the style that we are kind of known for now. Like, honestly, and we didn't have that until 2017. That's when we finally found our jive, and, like, everything we were learning to do over the years, we finally started to understand more and, like, perfect at that point.
I think by that point we worked out the difference between being a channel that has a sizable group in it, making a lot of content all the time, to a select group of people consistently working together with a similar mindset in mind, just having fun and making content.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Also, we weren't trying to, like, you know, abuse the algorithm to have a multitude of videos to just draw people in, because, like, early League had so little balance to the content output that, like, the League of Extraordinary Inconsistency was basically what we were at the start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, in the early days, we had no idea what we wanted to do just yet, and our styles kept on changing. And that's why I said, I think it took us until 2017 to finally get to a point where we had something consistent, because even up to that point, we were still kind of experimenting here and there, and we kind of, like, finalized our roster around that point, too, of members in the league.
Yeah.
So, Lester, your picks.
So, like, I know this one's hard for me especially to say, because, I mean, I never liked to just toot the own horn here, but I know I kind of did the most for this group. But I think it's because out of all of us, I had the most free time over the years, and even to this day still, to record Raws and put them together. So, yes, I got a laundry list here, because I've done a lot of different things.
If it's any consolation, Lester, I've got like 4 playthroughs on the back burner at the moment, so I will challenge you for that come next year.
Yes, yeah, I mean, please, because, yeah, this was the year I slowed down for the group. I do have about 2 playthroughs fully recorded and 1 fully edited for this channel in the backlog, but that's it. And in the past, it was like, yeah, you guys want to record? We got like 5 different things on the docket. Can we get through all my stuff, please?
Now it's not so much that anymore.
Thank God.
We got at least caught up with all our Raws and everything.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I mean, we still have like 2 playthroughs in the back burner right now. So.
Well, in terms of like old stuff, we only have 1 really, but everything else is more recent from like the past year, maybe 2 at most, as in like from when it's recorded. But at least the footage itself is pretty up to date now. But if I had to like pick down to like out of all different things I've done of like one specific playthrough that I found to be my favorite, for my sake, I'm gonna say Sonic Heroes, simply because that was a nightmare to put together, but it was well worth it. Covering so many versions of the game, it was
a labor of love.
It only leaves me with one question: when are we doing that 6th playthrough?
It depends. You found a prototype version?
I mean, we could just play the PC version again, but with mods. There you go, 6th playthrough.
Have you gone to the Sonic hacking community yet lately? I'm sure that you could probably find one.
Yeah, there's plenty of mods there. No, the fact that we were able to cover all 4 versions because I had all the systems capable of playing it, and just how well that flowed, like the jokes in the middle of it, and just showing off stupid glitches to see your guys' reactions. Like, I feel like out of all of them, that was probably my most memorable, and the one I kind of go back to pretty frequently. And that's saying something, because that really only came out last year. I mean, heck, we even revisited last year in a live stream, which is another thing I kind of liked. It just kind of worked even for that format, too. We somehow brought back Steve from the grave, because there was a train in that game. It's like, oh yeah, remember Steve? Here he is.
Steve Canyon.
I still even like that, even though we've kind of adapted that too. Like if there's like extra stuff we wanted to show off of the game, you would just live stream it on your channel, and we'd just make it a league stream, like we did with the Blue Coins and Mario Sunshine, and then the extra playthrough or the super hard mode on Sonic Heroes.
Yeah, because it works out for formats like that are kind of redundant or take too long in a video format.
Yeah.
And it just kind of works in that live format. It's like, yeah, we could just easily do this as a group and then just upload them in parts like we would anyways to the channel. But in terms of like someone else's project, that's hard, because there's like, I got too many different ones. I can pick like my favorite from all 3 of you technically here in this call. So it's like, it's hard to narrow it down, so I can see your struggle. But if I had to choose just one, like, I'll give 2 answers on this for this reason. I'm gonna just choose one, and I'm gonna give the other honorable mentions for that reason. If I had to choose someone else's project as one of my favorites, I think it would be the Silent Hill playthrough we did.
Really?
Because that's kind of when we started to do stuff we're doing today still, where we had a cohesive group of people in the recordings at all times, and we had good edits in between the videos, thanks to Amber just knowing what to do with Silent Hill. And it worked out, and it still had some really good memorable moments too.
Okay, I'll be fair. The edits were fine. The gameplay was not.
I mean, that was still early days, so.
And to be fair, Amber, you did kind of, hit the nail on the head, putting the disclaimer at the start saying rated R for randomness, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
That's the league in a nutshell.
I was not expecting that. Thank you.
So when is Silent Hill 2?
That's a better question.
I can do it. If people actually want to see it, I'll do it.
No. You need to do Origins on the Wii. Do it.
You have to get the dog ending.
Okay, fine. I'll get the UFO ending.
Yeah. We'll skip 2 and 3 and we'll go straight to the room. Oh, hi, Silent Hill.
You say that, and 4 is like one of her favorites, so...
For the honorable mentions, if I have to pick, like, one from each of you, as I mentioned, Amber's Silent Hill is my favorite on that front. For you, Marley, I would say would also be the Rayman 2 playthrough, because of just how well that one also flowed, and it had, like, good edits in there, too. I can still remember your idea of, like, because you were playing the original version of the PC release up until the point where the game just doesn't work anymore on modern platforms.
Yep.
So I still remember your edit of just getting around the whole, disc broke issue.
Yep, and then the Transformers edit, that is still the high tier of edit that I try to match. I'm just like, well, the game's finished. No, it's not. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you were able to get up to that certain point in Rayman 2, just using the original release, was already kind of impressive, because it's just known for not working on anything past, like, XP. You were playing on Windows 7, I think, at the time.
Mm-hmm. The fact that there are still people who try and stream this game using the original version and run into the crash still, I'm like, guys, what are you doing? The GOG version through the Rayman loader has the bug fix as a checkbox.
Yeah, it just works. It just works by default too.
Oh my gosh.
And then if I had to mention, as in for now, Matt's playthroughs out of all the ones he did, I think your Sonic 06 is still probably one of your best as well. And it's just for a lot of the same ideas too. Like, even though it was still our early days and we're still experimenting in this, we still had a lot of like memorable moments from it. I still remember like part 7 where you like made the "Don't Touch It" joke with the Chaos Emerald. You know, it was kind of safe back then to make music references.
It was.
Yes. That is still, because like that was the thing, is we were all making the joke during the video to a point where I went back and I'm like, who made the edit? Because I could easily peg each of us as being responsible for that. Like, I could equally just go, did I do it? Did Lester do it? Did Matt do it?
No, it was me.
Yeah, I was like, I'm sure it was you. I'm sure it was you.
And you know, it's so stupid. It's like, you know, back then we could just get away with making a music joke like that. But nowadays it's just like, well, I'm gonna have to go find a remix on YouTube and ask permission first.
Yeah, pretty much. But also I remember in that playthrough, I don't remember the specific reason of what was happening then. It might have been because of just how your computer was acting up at the time, Matt. But I also just took over editing for a little bit in that too. From part 26 onwards, I was the one who finished putting together the videos.
I think so. Well, I think it was up to because was it after? Okay, let me re-ask that question. Are you talking about like just putting the commentary and stuff together?
Well, yeah, I mean, you already had the raw video itself done, so I just had to put together the video and our commentary into the final product.
Oh, that's right. I think that was because my computer went down.
Yeah, like you were having some tech issues then.
Yeah, I remember there was also like a bracket of time where sometimes for recordings, multiple of us would record the commentary on the off chance that it crashed for one of us and another one of us had to do the editing afterwards. So it meant that some videos, one of us would edit one part and another would edit another part, depending on who ended up with commentary that covered everything, because of, again, Skype MP3 recorder.
I mean, nowadays, if something like that happens, then we just send the people audio.
Yeah, so like there are some playthroughs, I go back to it, I'm just like, I know exactly who edited the commentary for this part. Because like, further edits were added in by us individually based on our personal styles that slightly change up the flow of them.
Yeah, like we all have our own personality injected in these videos, so it's easy to tell, even by their titles too. Like, you can tell who titles what just based on the formatting.
Yeah.
Even for like some of these other projects, I still remember also helping to step in to either get you guys started on editing or just flat out doing some of the edits too. Like I remember editing the Binding of Isaac race and the Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland race that we've done years ago on the channel.
I remember I did the Spyro race. I edited that.
Yeah, I think I helped you in the beginning, like get the first episode set up, so the rest of it you just had a template ready to go for. Because you were still learning how to do like multiple videos in like at that time Sony Vegas.
Yeah, that was when I started to learn how to use Sony Vegas, and then after a while I just dropped it because Sony Vegas kept freaking crashing on me. I said, I'm done with this crap.
Dude, I mean, not for this channel, but I remember when I was putting together that Sonic Adventure 2 race that, you know, myself, you, Matt, and then Jarrett, we all did for my YouTube channel back in like 2012, and that told me I need to look into something else soon because this program crashes every time I hit the play button. Can't even watch things back.
It was bad.
That was a time.
Can I add one more playthrough that I like, to be fair, from Marley, since Matt's got too many and I can't choose.
Yeah.
You see, this is why I did my honorable mention thing, so yes, go ahead.
I really liked your, was it Zero Mission you did?
They had the Zero Mission blind playthrough.
Yeah.
I really liked that playthrough because you kind of play Metroid the way I would play it, so I can kind of relate how your playstyle is on that game. And I'm not good at Metroid at all, I'll admit. So watching you play, I'm like, I can see me playing like he is. Yeah, but he's still better than me.
I still remember the painful way, because the way I try to explain things is so jumbled sometimes. Me trying to explain that one complicated Shine Spark to you to get the Super Missile and Brinstar, Oh, I hated that I did that. I said, Marley, I can totally understand why Marley didn't understand what I was saying.
But to be fair, like, I also was so busy running into walls and doing silly stuff, and I'm just like, oh, sorry, Matt, can you say that again? Because I've done the thing where I haven't listened and I've tried to do it without doing it. And then there's like bits in there where I just glitched through a wall, and it's like, how did I do that?
Yeah, you don't even know.
I went back and I was just like, Matthew, you could have worded that so much better so he'd understand. And I just felt so
Hey, Marley,
bad.
jump here. Jump where? Just jump here.
Like, hang on. We're still in team viewer. Can you turn on the presentation mode? I need to click.
Hold on. It needs to be in black and white. It's going too fast.
It's hard to explain Shine Spark when you're looking at it through TeamViewer and you're delayed like crazy.
Yeah.
No, it's hard enough to play it when it's like my first Metroid game, and I'm like, I don't know how to speed strat. But I got there. I did get there, and I do agree. Like, Zero Mission is still one of my favorites that I've done for the league as well.
It's one of my favorites that you did too, Marley.
I actually go back and watch it kind of often now because I like it. So good job, sir.
Yeah.
I still remember, as a random anecdote with that, I still remember in the playthrough during the backtracking part, like, we were really cutting a lot out for that, so we were, like, kind of just having random conversations till we get through an expansion. Like, okay, let's focus on the expansion. And I just remember him in the background just playing Pokemon.
Yep.
Well, I beat Sun and Moon. How's the item farming going?
It's just like, did I hear some... I remember there's just, like, this one blooper I have from, like, the middle of... I don't even know what it was. I think it might have even been... Dare I say it, going further back, it may have either been Sonic Advance or possibly even Sonic CD, where it's just like, did I just hear a random golf clap? And then Jarrett in the background just goes, oh no, I'm playing Turning Hawk.
Oh, yeah. I remember that, yeah.
And I'm just like, yes.
Oh my God.
He would do that.
Yeah, he would.
And I'm just like, I love it. I'm thinking really hard. If I was to give an honorable mention, I've got to think really, really carefully, because there are a lot of really good options. But I would probably go back to the Star Fox Assault playthrough, if not for the edits of the thumbnails, and if not for the edits in the gameplay, considering I think a lot of stuff ended up being mostly just like subbed in later. I think for the bizarre directions that the commentary went in, and also just like that one episode that just ends with, a rose by any other name is still Goku, but just with Panther's face there.
Yeah, because at the time, I was the one who's seen that Twitter clip, and like no one else knew what I was talking about, so it was just blindsiding everyone.
And I'm just like, yes, super abridged. People are still salty about that. Y'all can just deal with it.
Was that the playthrough? It's been a while since I watched it, but was that the playthrough where we had the joke about Dragon Ball naked Goku?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, for at least Gohan, because that was one of the thumbnails.
Which turned into a thumbnail with me on it. Naked Goku.
Yeah, I'm even looking at, like, the titles for some of these, like, because it's been years since I, last put the videos together and even, like, our conversations. I'm just looking at some of, like, the titles, too. Like, obviously, every rose has its Goku Panther. We already know what that's referencing. Dorito Assault.
The Dorito Raider.
Bob Marley and his painting, and Fox and his Brooklyn Rage. Like, yeah, sometimes our conversations go to places.
Just Fox
Random
McCloud.
places
The Fox McCloud, they're just like, I have sunglasses, deal with it.
Okay, let's do a thumbnail now. Oh my God, I forgot about that.
It's a treat just to go back and look at some of the old stuff, because it's been so long, and you look back like, oh yeah, now I remember.
Dorito Assault.
And like, the great thing is, anything that wasn't in the thumbnail template or is old enough that it like predates those, I just go, okay, based on the trend of how we do it now, how would we do it? Oh, I know. And like, the great thing about the Sonic 06 ones is because of how prevalent a lot of Matt's annotations were with text, I'm like, okay, nearly every thumbnail now is going to have one of Matt's text annotations as part of the thumbnail. You're welcome.
Yeah. It worked.
And it worked. It worked consistently for nearly all of them.
I'm not gonna lie, I still think one of my favorite thumbnails for one of our videos was one I made for the Sonic 4 Episode 1 playthrough, Part 3, where I was playing the PC version of Sonic 4, and it's very well known that after you get all the 7 Chaos Emeralds, it just randomly crashes after you get them, and it tells you have Super Sonic. So I just remember the stupid thumbnail I made just for the part. And I mean, I just showed you guys right before the video goes up, and you're like, what? Did you get any sleep? What happened? We never see you meme like this, because it's just like 2 Sonics laughing at the thumbnail of the Sonic EXE is closed.
Yeah.
I'll put it in our Discord chat in case you guys don't remember it either. It's just one of the stupidest ones, but every time I look at it, I just chuckle.
Yep. Yep.
I remember that. That is a beautiful thumbnail. Oh my god.
Yes.
I still can't
So
believe
good.
it.
I mean, like, I think when things get stupidly meta with, especially with the Sonic playthroughs, I think has been the great thing. Like, even the second last part of Sonic CD, because of the fact that Matt brought up when he had the double death in his Sonic CD playthrough, I actually transitioned myself finishing Metallic Madness Act 1 into Matt's playthrough, and then just showcased it in there as well. And then it just cuts right back to Act 2, and I'm like, let's keep going. As if nothing happened at all.
Yeah, it's like, let's just not comment on it.
Which, you know, as like a juxtaposition of Matt having his freak out to then that, I'm like, yes, it will. And then later in that episode, Matt just being like, we don't want to get the and then I put the slider theme in because I'm like, nuts to this noise.
I still can't believe to this day that happened. I'm like, wait, what? How did I lose 2 lives out of that one death animation?
And you caught it. You caught it on camera.
It's hard to replicate that stuff, because like a similar thing happened to me in my Ocarina of Time Let's Play. We brought that up in like the League playthrough too, and I inserted the clip of just collecting a gold Skulltula token, getting hit in the animation, so Link just looks like he's having a panic attack. You can't replicate this stuff.
Like, that's the thing is, it's great when you crash a game in an unexpected way you've never seen before. It's great when you pull off something in a game that's very bizarre that you've never seen before and you catch it on footage. I think probably still, like, it's not within League stuff, but I think it's a testament to our ability to inadvertently catch things on footage was the time I crashed a GBA game because too much was on screen.
Oh yeah, because you overloaded the system memory probably at that point.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, the GBA has layer 2. It needs 2 layer 2s because there is too much happening right now.
I still think it's funny, like in my Spiral Let's Play on my channel, whenever I got that weird death because I got knocked, like the turtle hit me and projected me up above him, and I was in a falling animation. I just sat there, I was like dumbfounded looking at it for a second there. And then the screen faded to black, and then I was back at the checkpoint with a life lost. I was like, wait, what? What the heck just happened?
Yeah, because when it happens, you gotta do a double take.
And I literally just sat there and I just thought about it for a second. I was like, did the game just think that I was falling in a pit because I was in a falling animation for more than 5 seconds?
Thanks, game.
I was like...
Yeah, and then you learn the realization of, yes, that's actually what happens in the game. Why? I don't know, but now you found it by accident.
And it's so funny when you record this stuff on...
Like, this is the exact reason why I want to do more races, because I feel like races give us opportunities to twofold find stupid stuff on both of our ends. And like, if I was to want to do another race, I know I've put this to Matt before, it'd have to be Crash 1, but the original. Any percent, just get to the end, because the number of ways Crash 1 original can break is surprising.
Oh yeah. I mean, that game is very glitchy.
Yeah. And you never expect it.
I think we've talked about that once. And I need to get better at Crash 1 because I'm not I love Crash Bandicoot games, but I'm not good at them. I see some people that have played for years and they're like, yeah, it's easy to get 99 lives. I'm like, I can't keep game overing.
Yeah. Hey, I can't do the shell hop in any Mario game. I only physically own the original PS1 version of Crash 1 and the Insane Trilogy, respectively, for the rest. In fact, I've got more of the PS2 Crash games than I have of the PS1 Crash games. I'm not good at Crash 1. It took me 10 years from the day I bought it to actually finish it 100%. I can tell you right now, you won't need to practice.
Okay.
You won't need to
there's an
practice.
idea.
Yeah, I mean, that's some of my favorite stuff for races, too, is when, like, no one really practices or everyone's kind of, like, in the same player level. Like, oh, I've only played this game for, like, maybe 5 minutes or something. You jump in. Because it's such, like, a back-and-forth thing, and you just don't know what the other person's doing at that point.
It's why the Portal race worked so well, and then there's just, you know, everyone getting to the end, and then me just singing, because it's just like, everyone finished. I'm just like, well, I'm taking this to the bank. Thank you.
Portal 2 race.
Oh, you want to see Portal 2 race? Oh, okay.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, geez, yeah. I mean, we're not doing the you can't move when a character's talking because we will never be able to complete the game.
Oh,
Yeah, because Wheatley won't shut up.
Wheatley doesn't shut up.
You guys can do it.
No, he never stops talking. Okay, you know, I'm gonna just have a little bit of a technical issue. The cat ate my wires. My speakers don't work anymore, so I can't hear Wheatley. So I'm just gonna go.
Let's just do a reverse challenge. You can only move when Wheatley is talking.
You'll never stop moving.
Yeah, pretty much. I think the only place where that's going to be an exception is, for example, if you're walking at crawl speed in the last section when Wheatley tells you to jump down the pit, and by some miracle you just pace around in crawling speed and get to the top and he runs out of dialogue. It can happen. You can have him run out of dialogue, but I think it's only there.
Yeah, it's kind of hard, obviously, to get that moment.
He just goes, fine, just stand there then. And that's the last voice clip he says. It's, I think, he stops talking.
Yeah.
Well, there's
Pretty
ideas
cool,
for playthroughs. So, hey, viewers, there might be playthrough ideas coming your way.
Yeah. I mean, we do have a lot of ideas that we're still kind of like toying around for our stuff in general here. Like, we all have different ideas of different games we want to record, or maybe like races, or even like co-op things to do for the channel. So, like, we're always throwing around new ideas. Even if we're not like the most active with the channel, we still are doing a lot behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it especially helps now that, like, as Matt and I are finding out, we can actually record Kirby Superstar properly.
Yep.
So much better than... Do you remember the days of Hamachi? Do you remember the days of Hamachi?
I try not to.
You just gave him the cold sweats.
I try not to. The 2 hours we spend just setting things up and then just not working.
Yeah, like,
The hours lost.
Heck, I even look back to when I think it was Lester, it was you and Matt recorded Zombies Ate My Neighbors as a Halloween one-off using Hamachi for multiplayer.
Yeah, it was rough.
Ooh, that's going back a ways.
That was rough because that was one of our first attempts at using that kind of setup.
Yeah, and then we're just like, I think probably the second to last nail in the coffin for Hamachi for me was when I realized we couldn't use it for Kirby Amazing Mirror because Hamachi didn't support VBA Link, and I've gone, all right, wow, Hamachi is absolute trash.
Yeah.
The final nail in the coffin was realizing Switch Online fixed everything that we needed, and I'm like, hey, it's been 24 years.
Yeah.
If Nintendo Switch Online ever puts GBA games on there, they better put Amazing Mirror on it.
That would be, yeah, a big one.
I mean, the Wii U Virtual Console version didn't have multiplayer even locally. How did you mess this up?
Yeah, that was a problem with pretty much both the GBA and DS VC games on Wii U.
And Four Swords, yeah. That's a good thing, Amber. Four Swords, too.
Yeah.
Bring it back from DSiWare. Why? Why were you doing this?
Yeah, they brought it back once, and then it never got released again. You can never buy it. It's like, okay, why was it randomly brought back for free for like a week and then disappeared from existence?
Again, I didn't know that had happened until I heard you guys, I think, briefly bring it up during the Ocarina of Time playthrough. And then I'm like, wait, that happened? And then I went back and I'm like, yeah, it was released, and then it was unreleased. I'm like,
Yeah, because I think all of us learned about it way too late.
I had my 3DS by then. I could have got this game.
Yeah, we all learned way too late at the time because they didn't really advertise it that well. Like, by the time I learned about it, I had a 3DS and the game was nowhere to be found.
And this is why Mother 3 was translated by fans, because some things you cannot expect the original
Yeah.
publisher to do.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Like, I'm gonna be honest. Anyone who was, like, people waiting for Mother 3 to have an official English translation should be well aware by this point, Reggie has probably played the fan translation, if he's played it at all.
Yeah.
Let's be realistic here.
Yeah. Also, stop asking him because he has no power about that.
He doesn't work on Nintendo no more, man. Stop asking.
That's why he's always
He
going to
would-
wear your shirt anymore when he's
Yeah.
in public. Stop asking.
He started working at GameStop because emphasis was on the stop asking me.
It's in the name.
I've actually got the fan translation of Mother 3, as well as translation
I've been keeping tabs on the fan translation of the 1 and 2 of the dual pack ROM, because people have been working on a full English translation and upheaval of the 1 and 2 pack.
Oh, really?
Because they're just like, yeah, and it's like, it's I think in terms of translation, it's 98% done. In terms of stability, it's at about 70%.
Yeah.
It's actually incredible the level of dedication people have gone to.
Also,
It's nuts.
Fan translation of Fire Emblem Binding Blade 2. I need to go back and finish that. At one point, I actually don't want to get back to that game. Anyways, that's a different story for a different day.
Oh yes, absolutely.
But yeah, this is I'm so glad that, you know, we started this 10 years ago, and I'm so thankful that you guys are still with me after all this time, as, you know, not only as my friends, but just, you know, colleagues on doing this hobby.
Oh, is that all I am too? Just a colleague? Man, I thought we were like brothers. Okay, I'm getting divorced.
That's why I said friends.
You're divorcing your brother. That's a weird flex.
I mean, let's be honest. League is a family at this point.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
except for Matt again.
Yeah. Except for me, I'm just the dog.
I wasn't gonna go that far, but hey.
You was going to call you the hype train by way of Steve, but that works.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's gonna pretty much do it then, because yeah, we went over a lot of our big memories here, and it like I said, it's been a long but very enjoyable 10 years, and hey, here's to more years to come.
We'll be back with another hour plus long special when we hit the 20-year mark.
Yeah, really.
When none of us are playing video games anymore.
And we're all old and just like, hey, you remember when we started? You remember Rick Hogo?
Do you remember those dazzle doodads?
Oh my gosh. Someone tweeted a picture of a Dazzle, and I'm just going, I didn't even have this thing, but I still remember people in the league having it, and the problems, and the frustration, and the color bleeding.
Yeah, that was the bigger thing. The image quality was crap on those things.
There's just like that's the thing is, I look at my capture my El Cheapo USB capture card that at the time I got off eBay for $30 and somehow recorded all of BioShock using it, which I'm still flabbergasted by. Like, it caps at 720p. A Dazzle caps at 480, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's also only using the analog connectors, which is like already a bad thing nowadays to use because they're very blurry.
I had a Dazzle for like my first couple playthroughs, and then I switched over to Diamond VC500. And I used that for all my standard def like playthroughs for like game. Like I did that for our Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green playthrough. I used the Diamond.
It still works, man.
It still worked though.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I still have all of my old capture cards that work, minus the ones that actually did break. The only one I still have that just doesn't work was the one I started with, which was like this old TV tuner that came with my mom's like 2005 Gateway laptop. And like it wasn't even supposed to work past Windows XP, but it had drivers on things like Windows 7, so it worked for a while. Then just one day, they just got rid of the drivers. Like, well, now I got me a paperweight. But I remember I used that thing like the first year, got dazzled in year 1 of recording stuff, but then I swapped back to using the TV tuner like about a year or so after using the dazzle. I'm like, this thing just doesn't look that good. I'm going back to my TV tuner. That looked better. You know, the thing that's not supposed to work. Let's just use that.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, like, heck, I look back at the playthroughs up to, let's see, how far would it have been in? I think it was up until the point where I started rendering my videos in widescreen. Like, so as in when I went to 16:9 instead of 4:3, because like all of my old playthroughs are 4:3. All of them.
Oh yeah.
It's insane. I think Zero Mission was the first one that I edited and rendered purely in Camtasia, because for the sake of keeping the size down, because I had no idea what I was doing, and for some reason rendered all of my videos as AVIs.
Oh no! Now for the final product.
Yeah.
Oh no.
But the final videos I rendered, I then put through Movie Maker to make them smaller. No joke. I would do the base render in Camtasia, and then I would do all of the effects afterwards in Movie Maker. Up until about 2016. The fact that that worked is still staggers. It baffles me.
The fact that that just actually was still a thing you were even able to use, because at that time Windows Movie Maker were still kind of killed, really, because they forced you to use that live version which had like no features.
Yeah, pretty much. Like on Windows 10, literally a thing of you try and use ye oldie Windows Movie Maker, and the preview window stays blacked out because the drivers aren't supported. And if you put too many clips in, it crashes. But, and this is the funny thing, in terms of my most current playthrough on my channel, it is still consistently the only way I've been able to reliably send things black and white and put a zoom function on them and get that done in less than 10 seconds.
Wow.
So I use it for my end slates of my Dragon Ball Z playthrough, and I just go, grayscale, ease in, render, cool, doesn't have to be high quality, I'll just stretch it so that it fits the other thing, it's going to slow zoom and then have a title card in front of it anyway, doesn't matter.
The fact that you just said you're still able to use Movie Maker in any format in 2021 just made me feel a little old.
Yeah, it just, like, I don't use it for anything seriously. I just go, hey, I need this image to be black and white and zoom. Cool. I only need to go for 10 seconds. It's gonna be a lot easier than rescaling everything to go grayscale using the built-in stuff. I could just, like, screen cap it, put it in Photoshop, put it grayscale, and then save it, but it's actually faster to do the same thing in Movie Maker, surprisingly.
I just learned something new. For one, Movie Maker still works in modern Windows.
I mean, not reliably, but like for a 10-second black and white clip, it does the trick.
The fact that it just boots up in general, I'm just shocked about.
I know, right?
I have software from years ago that won't even start. But yeah, I guess that's gonna pretty much do it. So thank you guys for watching.
What a weird note to end on.
I know! It's like, how do you transition out of this? You don't. Let's just straight face, please. Hopefully, we please, let's just go.
Hey man, that's the league in generals. Have you seen how we end a lot of our videos? It's just on topics. We don't even say goodbye in these videos. It's like,
how we end them, we don't.
But
We don't really end them. We just kind of move on.
Yeah,
like literally the Rayman 2 playthrough ends with Matt going, is this the rest of the video?
It just ends it, yeah. I remember
Actually,
that.
the hilarious thing, Sonic Advance ends the same way as well, because literally we do the Tiny Chow Guard and we close out of it and that's where the video ends, and Matt just goes, wait, that's it?
It's like, yep, next video.
Yeah.
Oh, let's send it this way. I'll do it for you guys so you don't get back on another topic. Thank you guys so much for staying with us for 10 years. It's been a good 10 years, and hopefully in the next 5 to 10 years, I don't want to keep saying
our 20-year anniversary.
Yeah.
20, 30, 50, 64.
We can do another video like this and have more good memories, but thank you, Marley, Lester, and Matt, coming from myself, for, making League what it is. Making League a good place and something we all enjoy. I'll put it that way.
Good friends and good memories and good playthroughs and good video games. Well, not all good video games.
I mean, we played Sonic 06 and Sonic Genesis. I don't think they're all good.
But none of
I
us
know,
have-
we haven't even played every version of Sonic 1. I've got to catch up.
Yeah, really. Let me get my cell phone out.
Well, yeah, with that, thank you guys so much for watching this special. I know it's been a very long video, but we had a lot to talk about, so...
Yeah, exactly. I mean, hey, 10 years, a lot. But again, we want to go ahead and thank every single one of you for watching this channel over the past 10 years. It's been a very fun and crazy ride, and we're looking forward to making more videos here on the LPerLeague. So, with that said, thank you guys for watching this video.
And we'll see you guys on the next video we do. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Catch you later.
See you guys next time.